Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Run in the Paint recap. Today is Tuesday, December 3rd, back with another week of the recaps. I'm Miles from the Run in the Paint podcast, going solo for the recap here. Last night we had 4 games going on. Not a whole lot of craziness happened around the association last night. 4 double-digit victories, but here for the close ones, here for the blots for the recap. So let's go through all of them here. Like I always say before we get into the games here, check the description down below if you want to fast forward to a game or to see your favorite team. But first, let's get into the probably the game that everyone's going to be talking about later today over the TV shows and social media. The blowout, the biggest loss of the day here, with the LA Lakers only scoring 80 points against the Minnesota Timberwolves and losing 109-80 in a game where the Timberwolves just completely dominated because of their defense. The Lakers, the 80 points is the lowest scored by any team in a game this season. And when you look at the numbers, they just look ugly. LeBron, only 10 points in this game, 4 for 16 from the field, still can't buy a three. Anthony Davis was held to 12 points in this game, 4 for 14 from the field. As a team, LA shot 40% from the field, 19% from three, and they had 20 turnovers in this game. And a lot of those turnovers were live ball turnovers that led immediately to easy Timberwolves layups and some transition threes as well. The Lakers, just a rough performance in this one, man. I was expecting this one to clearly be the best game of the day. And no Austin Reeves in this one, so that's why D'Angelo Russell gets the start in this one. He'd been coming off the bench recently. Dalton Knecht gets the start in this one as well. D'Angelo Russell, actually, who's been pretty inconsistent so far for the Lakers, it just hasn't really been that good, was the only Laker that really had a positive offensive game. He had 20 points on 8 of 12 from the field, 4 for 5 from three. The former Minnesota Timberwolves there was able to get some buckets going. But the big story with the Lakers in this one really is just the turnovers, the 20 turnovers, 6 of them by LeBron, 3 of them by D'Angelo Russell. And like I said before, a lot of them were live turnovers, just bad passes getting stripped by the Timberwolves defense. But a lot of it was just the Timberwolves defense and honestly just some lazy passes by guys like D'Angelo Russell and LeBron James. On the Minnesota Timberwolves side of things, I mean, they just played fantastic. I mean, it's been a very tough, inconsistent season for them so far. They're now perfect 10-10 on the season, perfect 500 record right there. But sometimes the effort on the defensive end from some of their guys just hasn't really been there this year, like we saw it from last season. But it all came together in this game. That's how they held the Lakers to just 80 points and they forced so many turnovers. Like, think about that. The Minnesota Timberwolves won a game, dominated a game. They won by nearly 30, where Anthony Edwards only scores 8 points on 3 for 13 shooting. That's the type of things that can happen when you play great defense. And the thing is, when your guys have it going on the defensive end, that's also going to get them going on the offensive end as well. I mean, Rudy Gobert, this game, I'm assuming this is a season high in points, 17 points, 12 rebounds, was 7 for 8 from the field. A lot of them just easy finishes and dunks in transition or wide open alley-oops in the half court. Off the bench, these 3 bench guys have been so huge for the Timberwolves as far as if they're going to be successful like they were last season or just to get any consistency. They need these bench players to put up solid numbers, and they got them all in double figures in this game with Naz Reid with 15, Nickeil Alexander-Walker 15, DiVincenzo, who's really been struggling so far this season, 11 points, 3 for 6 from 3, but also 9 assists as well. So that was super important. For the Minnesota Timberwolves, Julius Randle had some nice moments in this game on the offensive side as well, but overall, just a very impressive performance by the Minnesota Timberwolves defensively. But again, these are 2 of the more inconsistent teams in the league, the Lakers and the Timberwolves. So kind of hard to figure out these 2 teams. Minnesota's just going to have to try to keep this going. I mean, this is definitely a step in the right direction, dominating a team like the Lakers, who have been, while they're inconsistent, they came into this game 4 games above 500 and, playing some decent basketball. And it's not even like the Lakers, the Lakers defense wasn't horrible in this game. A lot of the opposing points just came off of transition and their own turnovers. So that's something that the Lakers are going to have to work on because they've been having a lot of games recently. There was that game against the Suns last week in the NBA Cup, the game against the Denver Nuggets at home, where they just gave up too many easy plays or were turning the ball over too much. I mean, you just can't really have that happen on this team. But overall, good victory for the Minnesota Timberwolves, and definitely going to matter a lot when we get down to the end of the season. All these victories matter so much between two teams that could potentially be similar, the Lakers and the Minnesota Timberwolves. So great victory for the Timberwolves. Next we'll go, there were a lot of games in the Eastern Conference. So let's go to the Eastern Conference. Not a whole lot of crazy action. This will probably be one of the shorter recaps. The first game in the Eastern Conference, the Boston Celtics defeated the Miami Heat 108-89. Second game of a back-to-back. They bounced back after the tough loss in Cleveland against the Cavaliers. They after Jaylen Brown and Derek White did not play in Cleveland, they both played in this game. And both played pretty well. Jaylen Brown had 29 points. Peyton Pritchard continues his amazing play off the bench at 25 in this game. Continues to be the best bench scorer in the league. And Celtics, after not really getting up, not really making a whole lot of threes in the Cavalier game on Sunday, got up 55 threes, made 19 of them. Not a crazy percentage, but this was more of their bread and butter, getting up a whole lot of threes. I mean, they had 4 players that took 11 or more threes, with Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Peyton Pritchard. That's the way that they want to play, man. And you see, like, it's a math game, man. It's definitely a math game. Considering the team that they played, the Miami Heat, only shot 8 for 35 from 3, 23%. And they didn't have Jimmy Butler in this game. But, for Boston, it really matters getting up a whole lot of threes, because there aren't a whole lot of teams that can kind of match that output from the three-point line with the Celtics. So the Celtics just getting back on track there. This is a win that they should have gotten, and they got it. For the Heat, Jaime Jaquez, double-double, 19 points, 10 rebounds. Tyler Hero had 19 points on only 19 shots. I mean, the Celtics defense was amazing in this game. 35% from the field. I already mentioned the 23% shooting from 3 for Miami. And, Miami's not a crazy good offensive team, but, they when you put them against this great Celtic defense, it just makes things all that much more difficult for this team. Next game in the Eastern Conference, the Atlanta Hawks defeated the New Orleans Pelicans 124-112 for, I believe, their 4th straight win in a row. They're now back to 500 on the season after this 12-point victory over the Pelicans, who are slowly starting to get some guys back. DeJounte Murray made his return to Atlanta in this game. I want to say had something like 19 points. Or no, it was Brandon Boston off the bench that had 19. It was DeJounte Murray, who continues to struggle offensively. He's been yet to have a really big game offensively for the Pelicans. But 7 points, 10 assists for DeJounte Murray in his return. CJ McCollum had 29 to lead them in scoring. Yves Missi, another good game for the rookie, 23 points, 12 rebounds. If there's anything that the Pelicans can get out of this season with all these injuries, it is going to be Yves Missi playing all these extended minutes and getting these opportunities. So good for him to shine in this role. Was 11 for 14 from the field, with 23 points and 12 rebounds. And for the Atlanta Hawks, they just keep winning as a team, man. This Hawks team, you kind of start to like them a little bit. Not to do anything crazy, I don't think, but when they just play as a team, and obviously you're led by the best playmaker in the league, Trae Young, who had another 15 assists in this game, but everyone just getting a good feel of the basketball. Everyone who played, and this is a legit 9-man rotation that played for Quinn Snyder, everyone who played scored at least 8 points. Everyone took at least 4 shot attempts from the field, and mostly everyone got to the free throw line. So, when you're on a team like that where the ball's just kind of spread out, a lot of just really solid guys, obviously Trae Young, and now Jalen Johnson's kind of ascending as your, star pieces there. But the rest guys like Risa Shea, DeAndre Hunter has been really good this season. Onyeka Okongwu, Bogdan Bogdanovic, even, Clint Capella in that starting role. Kobe Buffkin played in this one. They even have guys that didn't even play in the rotation. They haven't been in the rotation, like Avit Krejci, Larry Nance Jr., Garrison Matthews. They're all guys that just know who they are. They know who they are. So the Hawks, solid basketball, man. Solid basketball. This game, they had 7 players in double figures. Trae Young just continues to find ways to impact the game without being able to shoot the ball that great. Had 8 rebounds and 15 assists in this one. So Atlanta Hawks, their 4th straight victory. This one coming against the New Orleans Pelicans. In the final game, the Chicago Bulls blew out the Brooklyn Nets in the second half, 128-102. They really blew this game open in the third quarter. And for this game, it really was the Bulls forcing a bunch of turnovers and getting out in transition. The Bulls had 32 fast break points to just 15 for the Nets. And while the Bulls turned it over a bit more, the 10 turnovers that the Nets had, most of them were in live ball situations, kind of similar to the Lakers. Most of them, if not all of them, came in half-court situation. The Bulls had 8 steals. 8 of the turnovers for Brooklyn were off of, Chicago steals, just being in the passing lanes and playing good defense and going out and scoring off of them. Josh Giddey had a triple-double in this one. Vucevic, double-double. He's been really great this season on the offensive end. But the rookie, Matas Buzelis, his first big breakout game so far this season, if you want to call it that, had 20 points, 5 rebounds in this one, hit 4-5 from 3, 7 for 10 from the field, some nice dunks inside, open corner threes. Was just playing in the flow of the offense. Lonzo Ball was back in this one. That's always good to see. Battle of the kind of the mid-off there, battle for the 11th seed in the Eastern Conference most likely, and the Bulls take this one. Are they actually that close in the standings right there? I mean, they do have the same record, but I would assume that's like right around where they are. Or they're the 9th and 10th seeds right now. Or so I guess that is true. The battle for the 11th seed right now. So that is really all the action that we had. Not a whole lot to talk about. The big headline is definitely that Wolves-Lakers game, with the Wolves just crushing the Lakers there. But from those 4 games, let's get into the MVP of the night. There weren't a whole lot of standout performances, but the winner goes to Jaylen Brown, because he was impressive in that game against the Heat, knocking down threes. Missed the game on Sunday, coming back and just looking like his normal self. Nice finishes at the basket, knocking down threes off of good ball movement by the Celtics. So Jaylen Brown gets the MVP of the night. Before we get out of here, as we always do, let's take a look at the upcoming schedule for tonight. And tonight is Tuesday, so we've got some NBA Cup action, 11 games going on. And, of course, we are now deeper into the Cup, so we have some more important games here to try to decide some groups, and obviously the wild card is so important. So the League Pass schedule, here are the 9 games on League Pass. Big ones as far as the regular season goes. I mean, the Grizzlies and Mavericks. I mean, that's the thing. All these games still count for regular season records. So even if a team is out of it, out of the NBA Cup running, these games are still important. So games like the Grizzlies and the Mavericks, that should be a good game. Spurs and Suns should definitely be a lot of fun there. And the Spurs and Suns actually really does matter for that NBA Cup placement. Might appear that whoever wins that game might take the cake for that group, West Group B. It really all depends on how OKC plays against Utah in that game at 8 o'clock. So that's super important. And then the national games. First, 7:30 on TNT. The Orlando Magic and the New York Knicks, 2 of the best teams in the Eastern Conference, facing off, I believe, for the first time this season. And the winner of this game will take East Group A. Orlando has been killing it in group play so far. I mean, they've been killing it over the last few weeks without Paolo Banchero. But if the Magic could beat the Knicks, they will most likely solidify themselves as the number 1 seed, if you want to call it that, the number 1 team in the Eastern Conference for the knockout stages, which would be huge for them to try to get home court advantage. And then the late game, 10 p.m., the Golden State Warriors and the Denver Nuggets. Now, Golden State has already clinched their group for the NBA Cup, and I believe Denver is out of it already. Denver's out of it because Golden State already clinched, and I don't think Denver will be able to get in the wild card spot. But this game's still definitely important for both teams. It's just in the regular season, considering Golden State has now lost 4 games in a row and they definitely want to bounce back after, their hot start to the season, starting to get a little cold over these last 4 games here. So definitely important for them to try to get back on track. And then, of course, Denver, important for them to keep coming back up into the standings after their slow start to the season. They've been kind of on and off over the last few games. But there's a look at all the games for tonight. We'll be back again to recap all those big NBA Cup games tomorrow morning here on the Run in the Paint recap. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, subscribe for more NBA content. Make sure to check out the full podcast that we have coming up a little bit later here on the channel, where I've got Jackson and Nick with me to go over our first quarter All-Stars of the season so far. That was a lot of fun to go over. And you'll hear all of our thoughts on the 2 big number 1, number 2 games from Sunday when the Cavs defeated the Celtics and the Houston Rockets defeated the Thunder. That's going to be fun to see Jackson's reaction from that game. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you in the next one.